and welcome to this episode of Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton, and as you can see by where we are, we're not in the studio today. It's a lovely studio with pictures of buckroe, but today we're going to be talking about Sandy Bottom Nature Park, and really the best way to do that is to be here and for us to bring it to you. My guest today is Art Mertz, who's the Chief Park Ranger for Sandy Bottom. Welcome, Art. It's good to have you.
Nice to have you out here today. Nice to come out of the studio and enjoy the great outdoors. This is Sandy Bottom Lake. This is our fishing lake. It's fully stocked with fish from Virginia, so people can come out here as long as they have a freshwater fishing license. We allow them to fish off the pier or to rent one of our boats to fish from. Our other lake is Crystal Lake, and there we offer paddle boats and canoes for individuals to rent and to enjoy.
That's the one I've been on.
Yes.
The paddle boating is great exercise. It's a little bit of hard work, but it's a lot of fun.
It's nice to see people come out and just to get out of the house and to enjoy the great outdoors and everything that we have to offer here. We have camping that we offer both in our primitive sites. We have group sites also, and we also have yurts, which is a Mongolian style tent that sleeps 6 people that has a bunk beds in it that we also offer for people to come out and camp outside.
And you know what, that's so nice for beginning campers, because camping the first time you go takes a lot of expense. You've got to have, your stove, you've got to have tents, you've got to have sleeping bags. I mean, I used to camp a lot, and it's a very complicated outing. But in a yurt, it's a little different.
Yeah, with a yurt, we already provide the area for you to camp and the structure for you to camp in. All you got to do is bring a couple sleeping bags and your cooler full of food. We have a grill there for you to use, so it's a lot easier for beginner campers and those that may not have all the equipment to do primitive camping.
And it's good just to have a place to camp for weekend camping or a staycation. I know my son's Boy Scout troop used to come out here from time to time, when they didn't have time to go away. It's a nice place.
Yeah. We do a lot of camping or have a lot of civic organizations that come out to camp. As you mentioned, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, church groups. And it's great for those people to come out because it is close proximity of maybe where they meet, or they may be beginner campers that are coming out here. And while they're out here, we also offer programs for them to learn about wildlife conservation, to learn about the wildlife that they may find in their backyards and that they can find throughout the state of Virginia.
Right, I used to bring my Cub Scouts out here all the time, and sometimes we would just be on our own and take a hike, and they would try to identify, trees. I know that was some of the qualifications they had to do, and walk a certain distance and use compasses and things like that. But sometimes we also did programs with the ranger where they would see the wildlife rehabilitation area and things like that.
You mentioned we do have a wildlife rehabilitation area that we have numerous animals that can be found in the state of Virginia that may have been injured and are looking for placement. So we work with the Wildlife Center of Virginia that places animals here that we can show people this is how you properly treat animals and what should be going on in the wildlife and things to do and not to do. And as you mentioned, we have trails. We have 11 miles of trails for individuals to come out to either hike
11?
bike
really?
on.
I had no idea it was that much.
Yeah, the whole park is 456 acres, so it is a very large park located in the middle of the city of Hampton.
Now, I remember, and I guess it's because of the age of my kids, the park has sort of always been here, but it's really only about 15 years old, is that right?
Yes, we opened up in '96. Before opening up, this was a borrow pit for VDOT. That's what created the two lakes that we have. They mined sand out of here in the 50s, the late 50s, early 60s to build I-64. And that's why we have the lakes. The land sat basically vacant for a long time, and then the city purchased the land, and the park construction started in '94 is when we started constructing the park, and then we opened up in '95 or '96.
And you've been here since the very beginning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Since the construction phase.
I've been here before any of the structures were here. I am one of the last rangers that has been hired from the beginning that stayed here. I enjoy the park. I enjoy the public coming out and interacting with the young children. That's what drives me the most, is getting kids away from the TV, away from the video games, and getting them back out into nature. I grew up as a Boy Scout. I grew up hiking, biking, canoeing, and camping, and fishing. And I want younger kids to still have that experience and to be able to come out and provide a place for them to educate them on how to do those things and show them there are other things than the TV.
It is so important to unplug those video games and get kids out, and it's free.
Yes, 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 yes. The park is free of charge. Come out, enjoy the park. There is no cost to just enter the park and to come out and do some hiking. We do charge some rental fees for our boats, but they are a minimal rental fee. We also charge for picnic shelters. If you want to rent one of those for a family reunion, we have 5 different picnic shelters that we rent out. We have a very large and one of the few shaded playgrounds in the area.
Shaded? See, now if we were on the shaded playground right now, we might be a little cooler. That's nice. That's very nice.
We also have a nature center, which is just basically our information hub, but we do have animals on display there. We have
snakes especially. I know the Cub Scouts loved the snakes, no question.
And that's normally where we start our hikes from, is we do a little intro in the nature center about our snakes and the turtles and the fish that we do have on display there, and then we head out. But on a short hike, we offer these all throughout the year. So even in the winter, we do winter waterfowl hikes.
I bet you would see completely different things, and with no leaves on the trees. Of course, there's a lot of evergreen pines, but you know, it would look completely different in each season with the fall colors and the lack of leaves.
That it is, and we have 52 acres of wetlands that have been created here. We turned part of old Crystal Lake back into a wetlands where it had been mined, and we worked with VDOT and the Army Corps of Engineers into turning 52 acres of that back into a wetland. So we have numerous winter waterfowl that come through here in the wintertime because we are on the East Coast flyway for birds that are migrating.
Well, tell us some of the animals we might see. Let's maybe start with birds.
Out here we do have, like I mentioned, numerous winter waterfowl that come through. We also have egrets that are out here, great blue herons, ospreys, and numerous songbirds. The list for those is just too long. The Hampton Roads Bird Club actually holds their meetings here. So
oh, really? Do they do counts for you?
Yes, they do. They do our summer, spring, and winter counts for us out here. Other wildlife that you can see out here, we have numerous turtles, as you've seen some of them come up here.
It's so hot that they're in the water today, not sunning on a log.
That they are. We have numerous turtles. Mammal-wise, we have deer, raccoons, bats, foxes, both red and gray foxes are out here.
Oh, that's nice.
We have seen, back to birds, we have seen some wild turkeys that have stopped through. We don't have any resident wild turkeys, but we have seen them out here. And again, it changes every day. It depends on what's flying through to stop to feed. Storms bring a lot of birds in. Every day something different out here. You can always see something different out at Sandy Bottom.
That's great. One of the things I appreciate it too is it's for all ages. Like, it's not just a playground for little kids. There's the playground environment. There's the, you know, people of any age can get out and paddle boat or walk a short trail.
Yes.
Are the trails all natural, or do you have any that are paved?
None of our trails are paved. We do have a crush and run material, which is just crushed stone on some of them.
And that'll work for a jogging stroller at least.
Yes, and we do races out here. We do 5Ks, and we also host a 24-hour run in April where people come out and see how many miles they can run in a 24-hour period. And that's always nice and draws a lot of people from up and down the East Coast that attend that race.
That's great.
But as you mentioned, for any age, you know, whether it's the playground or hiking or just coming out to read a book or relax, you know, we cater to everybody out here.
I mean, you can hear a little bit of road noise, but other than that, it's very secluded. Like, I cannot see civilization from here. I mean, it's a very different environment than much of Hampton.
And it's hard to believe that you're in the middle of the city. You come out here and it kind of takes you away from the concrete jungle and you can get back to nature.
You are, what are your hours? Do they change?
We're open year-round, sunrise to sunset. Our nature center, we close depending on the nature center closes depending on the time of year. Right now we're open until 6 in the summertime, and then as winter comes we'll start to close a little bit earlier.
Okay.
But the park is open sunrise to sunset. Come on out.
That's great. Well, we look forward to doing that. I hope you know, people will see what we're going to show them about the things that are going on here and will make their way out.
Yes.
Is there anything I've forgotten to ask you, Art?
No, I welcome the public to come out, get away from the TVs, and come out and enjoy nature.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much for visiting.
Thank you for coming out.
And thank you for watching this episode of Round Robin. I hope you'll come back.